Welcome in to another edition of Where the 99 Lead. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host, and Where the 99 Lead. It's a program brought to you by the University of Pikeville, where we talk all things regarding the University of Pikeville over the course of a semester or even a year, an academic year at the University of Pikeville. Where the 99 Lead, what does that mean? I'm asked that a lot. And when we think about the historic 99 steps that lead to the University of Pikeville campus, the many students that have traveled those 99 steps to campus, possibly for the first time, and then also where those 99 steps lead back into the community and back into the world. We are joined by a couple of special guests today, and we've coupled up for this edition of Where the 99 Lead, and it's one of our favorite couples in the athletic department at the University of Pikeville. Shannon Gassman, head volleyball coach at the university, and Chad Gassman, head baseball coach. You guys have both been on the show before.
Yes.
And separately. So we're going to do this as a couple today, and it's interesting to be able to do that. I'm not sure that we've ever done this with faculty, students, or coaches, so we'll see how this works out today. Kind of like the newlywed game, comes to Where the 99 Lead. We may have some Bob Eubanks type questions today on Where the 99 Lead. You guys have been at UPike now for a couple of years and have been on the program before. Tell us a little about yourselves, and ladies first, Shannon.
Okay. Well, I'm originally from Bourbonnais, Illinois, which is south of Chicago. Went to school at the University of Iowa for 2 years and then University of Tulsa for 2 years. And then went on as a GA at Olivet, and then was married, and then we've kind of been all over the place since then. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
Chad Gassman, a little bio on you. Let's talk about your time as a student athlete and how you became to be a head baseball coach.
Well, I went to school at Morehead State University, and then became a graduate assistant at Olivet Nazarene University, and that's where I met my wife Shannon. And then we've gone all over the country the last 10 years. We'll be married 10 years on December 20th. So we've moved about, 11, 12 times? Houses.
4 states. Yeah.
4 states.
4 states.
11 or 12 houses.
Wow. And that is a lot of moving, but understanding small college athletics, you both understand that. You've been athletes, and if you go into the coaching realm, you're going to end up traveling some as your coaching career takes those steps. Now you're taking that travel together. What's that been like?
Well, it's been great. You know, University of Pikeville, when they were doing the baseball search, approached me about the job, and I came here on an interview and was just immediately impressed with the vision of what the university had. We had no intentions of Shannon coaching volleyball. We like to say it worked that way, and it's been a real blessing, and just all the pieces fell. But yeah, Shannon was just going to stay at home with our 3 children, and it just worked into that position.
Let's talk about that. And if you could introduce Mom, the 3 children. Let's introduce them to those that are tuned in.
Our oldest is a daughter, Taylor, and she is 7 right now. And then our middle son is Easton. He's 5, or he will be 5 here in a few days. And then Nate is our youngest, and then he will be 3. So 3, 5, and 7.
3, 5, and 7. Coaching a college volleyball schedule, which is hectic.
Yeah.
Your husband, your support person, coaching college baseball, which plays, 50, 60, 70 games a year. It's a busy time around the Gassman house.
It is a busy time, indeed, yes.
How do you join the two? What is scheduling like in your house?
Well, you want me to take this? Well, one, we feel like coaching is a lifestyle. It's not just a job, it's a lifestyle. So our children are extremely involved into the University of Pikeville community.
Right.
I mean, everyone sees them. You know, the baseball field and the gymnasium is a very familiar space to them. So we feel like we're very blessed to be able to see our children a lot. And Shannon and I are doing a lot of going back and forth and just working different things out. But there's only been once or twice this semester in the fall season where we're going, how is this going to work? You know, but we always make it work. And
Well, and we're very thankful for the, just the people around us
Sure.
who help us do that. So
I would imagine your team more so than Chad's team. You've got some built-in babysitters.
we do. Yes, we do. And
I can see that
We're
happening.
very thankful for that, yes. So, and I will say, too, that, with our kids, I feel like it's such a blessing that they're able to see these young men and young women,
Sure.
good role models for them, and they do wonderful with our kids. So I think both of our teams, we're very thankful for those kids.
I would imagine knowing that your kids are going to be around your program and your program, it affects the type of student athletes you recruit.
well, I definitely, I've always put a lot of stock in recruiting the right kind of person.
Sure.
Anyway, and Shannon does the same. But yeah, now that you have 3 children, I think it plays more of a factor.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting. Shannon, the UPike volleyball team, you've had a successful season, doubled wins from last year, and you're finishing up the regular season now. Let's talk about some of the highlights that the volleyball team has seen this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, like you said, doubled our wins from last year, so that was really good. That's exciting. We had 3 big conference wins this year, which again, 3 more than what we had last year.
Sure.
We're definitely turning a corner in our program. You can just see it in our athletes, and we've won some 5-set matches, which that tells you a little bit just about tenacity and things like that. So it's been a very successful season.
Let's talk about some of the players on this year's team. We haven't had a chance to speak since last season, but let's talk about some of the key players for the UPike volleyball team this year.
Well, we have a number of new freshmen on the court this year. Dominique Melvin is seeing a lot of time at the libero position, that DS position, and we have Rachel Murphy. She's a freshman, outside hitter, and Sydney Hall is a freshman, middle. And then we have some returners who, Chelsea Staples is a returning middle. Haley Eskel is actually a junior college transfer. She's new to our team as a junior this year, and then. We have some young ladies who redshirted last year who are now, playing for us. So Audrey Ray and Sydney Morris, and then we have some young ladies who are definitely playing key roles also, coming in off the bench and doing what needs to be done.
Sure.
So.
Let's talk about recruiting for the University of Pikeville volleyball team. What type of area are you covering now, and how has that changed since you took over the job?
Well, we're looking at Ohio a lot, Louisville a lot. I think we finally figured out kind of our niche as far as 5-hour radius is a pretty good radius for us right now. So we're looking at that for the most part. So.
Mid-South Conference tournament's coming up. How does the team qualify for the tournament?
We have to be in the top 8 to qualify for the tournament. And this year, actually, we did not qualify for it this year.
No.
So we still have 2 home matches left, but we didn't qualify for it
I
this
could
year.
see a little sting in your face. And this is something a year or 2 ago we wouldn't even talked about because the program it's needed to take those steps, and we've talked about it. I've seen it. I've followed scores. I've had a chance to see a couple of matches this year, and there's a different attitude around the program. And I had to ask the question because I thought we were close, and I was just hopeful that we were in the top 8 to reach the tournament. But the team certainly seems like it's heading in the right direction.
Absolutely. So definitely, we are close, and we've said that, all season long. We are close to where we need to be. We need to learn to play at that high level consistently.
Right.
But yeah, we're close.
Yeah.
So.
Of course, UPike puts an athletes on student athletes. They put an emphasis on student athletes being involved in the community, successful in the classroom, and giving back. And you also have students who have been recognized academically all conference. Let's talk about that.
Yes, we do. We have 3 young ladies who have been academic all conference. You have to be a 3.25 GPA and a sophomore standing.
Sure.
So Haley Johnson and Katie Massey and Sydney Morris have all been recognized as that.
You've been a student athlete. A lot of time involved in being an athlete. There is a lot of time that needs to be involved in the student part of that as well. How tough is it for a student athlete to blend the two and still reach academic all-conference honors, 3.25 GPA? It's tough for a student who is focused on being a student, but when you add the athlete into the mix, it makes it much tougher.
Absolutely, it's a great accomplishment that they've done that. It just shows you the discipline, that they have, and that they have, and that classroom that's why they're here, is to get that degree, and they understand that, and so it just really shows that, that time management and discipline that they have. So.
Discipline, an important part of athletics. You're tuned to Where the 99 Lead. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host, and Shannon Gassman, head volleyball coach at the University of Pikeville, and Chad Gassman, head baseball coach at the University of Pikeville. And no, it's not coincidental. They have the same last name, and it happens to be a husband and wife coaching couple at the University of Pikeville. Shannon, let's talk about volleyball, being involved in the community. What are some of the things that the UPike volleyball team participates in, maybe individually and as a team, staying involved in the community and giving back?
Absolutely. We actually just finished our Dig Pink match, which is a breast cancer awareness. We raised over $100 for, it's called the Side Out Foundation. So that was just completed in October. And then we're also going to do, it's called Operation Christmas Child, where you pack shoe boxes for children who don't have much.
Right.
And so we're going to pack some shoe boxes up this week and wrap them up and get an early start with Christmas, I guess.
How have the students responded?
Our athletes?
Yes.
Great, wonderful. I tell you what, the young ladies on our team, they understand the importance of all of those things, and giving back and time and all of that. So
It's part of the education process.
it is.
Not just teaching volleyball, of course, professors teaching what goes on in the classroom, but a lot of life lessons taught during the time that a student athlete spends on a college campus as well. And I know that both of you take that very seriously. It's a role that coaches take on. They become mother and father figures for student athletes while they are on college campuses. Shannon, we're going to switch from volleyball to baseball. I know you hear about it a lot too.
Oh, I do.
So you must endure. Chad, most people consider baseball a spring sport. I had an opportunity to play college baseball, and I found out quickly that my dreams had come true. Baseball was not just a spring sport in college, but it's also a fall sport and every opportunity during the winter as well. There's very little downtime with college baseball. But let's talk about what's been going on during the fall semester.
Yeah, if you want to build a good baseball program, as you know, you need to go almost all year round at it. And so we've gone 7-8 weeks here in the fall.
Sure.
And we're ending it up. We've had a really good fall. We enter squad a lot. We don't play outside competition.
Right.
But now we're kind of the reward at the end of the fall here is we're having our we call it the Blood Series, but it's our Fall World Series where last Wednesday night the seniors drafted. We split them 5-5, and they drafted their team. It was a lot of fun. It was on video, and I think we've had like 1,000 hits. You got to ask Gary Justice; he's been keeping up with
Sure.
it. But they did that, and then so that we're actually going today at 3:15 for our Fall World Series, and we're encouraging all, but we got guys, we got to put something at stake, and.
Sure.
And it's also a public service thing. The loser will volunteer or donate blood at the American Red Cross, and we're encouraging the whole team to do it.
Sure.
But that's why it's called Blood Series.
It's a great way to give back and add that to some friendly competition. So the Blood Series, what do we have? Best of 5, best of 7?
Best of 5.
Best of 5 series, and that's inter-squad. Yeah. So this afternoon, as we're taping on November 4th, yes. And it will continue through the week.
Right. Wednesday is an off day. If it does go Game 5, we'll have to go Saturday morning early.
How many students, athletes in the UPike baseball program participating in the fall?
It's for varsity, and it's about 39. 39 will be participating.
Is that a healthy number? Is that where you like the numbers for the varsity program?
You know, you can never have enough pitching.
Sure.
So we want to be too deep in every position, and then we want to carry between 15 to 20 arms. And even though our pitching coach does a really good job, Coach Ben Wigger, keeping our guys healthy, as a head coach, I always want plenty of arms.
Sure.
So
Yeah, it's a long season.
Yeah.
Tough series, and arms do get weary, especially during the regular season. You mentioned the live draft of the Blood Series, and you actually brought the U-Pike Film and Media program into that as well, and it was televised. Let's talk about how that went.
Well, it was a lot of fun, and you know, because it's the first time we ever did it, I wasn't sure how it was going to go, and I was worried about dead time. But let me tell you, when you have Bruce Parsons and the media team working at it, they did a great job of filling in all the pieces. And then Gary Justice was our commentator, and
Sure.
you know, everyone who knows Gary, he has the ability. He can. You and him could kind of do the same job. You guys
Right.
have the ability to ask questions and fill up time.
Yeah. Hey,
For lack of
that's
better
exactly what we do. And Gary and I we have sat down and talked baseball, and before we realized it, we'd burn up 2 hours worth of tape, and we had nothing to comment on other than just talking baseball. So you nailed it. And
That was not an insult, by the way.
Oh,
That was a compliment.
Gary, of course, a Pikeville Hall of Famer, former pitcher at Pikeville, and now vice president for enrollment management on the Hill. An important part of the recruiting process for both of you, because I know Gary, tremendous representative for the university, but he's out there beating the bushes along with the admissions team. What role does that office play with the baseball office and with the volleyball office in recruiting student athletes?
Well, I think we both think so highly of that office and what they've done for us, and I'll let Shan talk a little bit about it too. But I mean, it just seems like every time I have a parent down there, Gary or someone from the admissions office just plays a key role in just really. I hate even using the word sell because it's so genuine.
Sure.
It's not really even a sell. It's just they are who they are, and but it really does help, you know, push University of Pikeville on our recruits.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think they go above and beyond with our recruits and are willing to, which is really nice. And I know that Gary has really pushed for getting our matches, you know, on live Pike TV and
Sure.
just all of that. And that's huge, you know. So
I think the goal is to have all U-Pike athletic events on Pike TV because it's important. You have so many students. You mentioned recruiting, a 5-hour radius.
right.
You've got parents that don't get to see a lot of games. You have family members that want to be able to see their kids play. And when that opportunity is there, we know it's taken advantage of. We can track the number of hits on the website and things. So that's certainly a goal, and that's something the media and arts team will work on getting that done. And hopefully we can make that happen. Chad Gassman, head baseball coach at the University of Pikeville, recently held an alumni game. I guess an alumni doubleheader.
Yes.
An event at the U-Pike field. Let's talk about how that went.
Well, you know, anytime you get a bunch of guys, you know, 30 and over, you're wondering if we can go 14 innings, but
Right.
they did a great job. I mean, and it was a lot of fun. We had 25 to 28 alumni back, and, you know, they played our team.
Right.
And, you know, it was just it was a day of fun. We had lunch around 12 o'clock, had some pulled pork, some pizza, and it was just a really good day of camaraderie and no major setbacks. So
Right. Oldest alumni to participate.
boy, I don't want to put anyone on the spot. Well,
Gary Justice, if he
Well,
put on a uniform, he quite possibly could have been.
Well, I'll tell you a little bit about Gary Justice, but now Coach Staggs,
Aha.
our softball coach, associate AD, he was in attendance,
Yes.
but he didn't play.
Okay.
He had a little bit of a hamstring issue, I believe, and you know, he's been playing morning basketball, and I just don't know if he could do
Right.
both. But so he was in attendance. So
Yes.
and then Gary Justice, he could have been maybe the second or third, but let me tell you something. He literally threw all day. He pitched batting practice, and then he threw probably a combination of about 14 innings.
Yeah.
So
That's not bad for a guy his age. And, of course, bringing the alumni back to be a part of the program, that helps grow the support of the program. And I know it's something that's very important in all sports at the university.
We're getting alumni real excited about what we're trying to do with the program. We're getting a lot of support, just from attendance to financial support to just encouragement in general. So there's just a lot of things happening, and we're really excited to have the alumni involved.
I know we talked with Shannon about the steps that the volleyball program has taken in improving it more and more competitive, becoming what the University of Pikeville teams, what we want them to be, and challenging for championships. And I know the baseball program, the same for you. How close is the baseball program in the progress that you'd like to see made at this point?
We talk about the process all the time. We feel like if you follow the process, you're going to get the result that you want. And I feel absolutely we're exactly where we want to be. And we return almost all of our players, and we added some key recruits on top of that.
Sure.
And it's not just the physical ability; it's the believing you can win. It's winning that close game in the ninth inning.
Sure.
So I feel like we're real close. Shannon and I talk about it all the time, where we feel like I'm in my third year, this is her second year.
Right.
So we can kind of relate with the process and encourage each other and talk about what it takes to get to that.
Yeah. John Calipari at Kentucky does it in 1 year by going out and recruiting 5, 6 of the top basketball. It's not that way, folks. That is not real life, especially on the small college level. You don't turn programs from last to first, as the Red Sox did this year. It doesn't happen that way, and it is a process. It takes time and patience to build a program, to build depth, and to fill the positions that both of you need, whether it's on a baseball diamond or on the volleyball court. You guys are always recruiting. Let's talk about the recruiting, how it looks for 2014.
Well, I got to think what year we're in. Okay, yes, 2000. We had
That will be the spring.
we had a real good recruiting class. Signed some key transfer players, junior college players, and then also brought in some really good freshmen. The thing I'm really excited. I was a pitcher in college, so we put a lot of emphasis. But we finally have pitching depth,
Right.
and I feel like we can run 10 to even 15 guys out there that I feel very comfortable with that can win ball games. And I really think in the Mid-South Conference, if you can have that kind of depth, you really put yourself in an advantage. So that's what I really like.
Yeah. Shannon Gassman, head volleyball coach at the University of Pikeville. Recruiting, it's a process for you as well. Let's talk about that. You talked about the 5-hour radius. There are some volleyball programs here locally. Mm-hmm. How much do you get a chance to see the local teams? I know Allen Central is a team that has really developed a program. We've seen some U-Pike players that have come from Allen Central, and Colonel Larry Maynard does a tremendous job with that program. They almost won the All-A state tournament this year. They've just recently won the 15th region championship. But let's talk about recruiting volleyball players locally. If someone's tuned in and maybe they are a young volleyball player, what does it take for them to get to the next level?
I guess movement, how you move on the court. Lateral movement when you're in the front row, and quick twitch, I guess you can say. That type of stuff, and then just a desire, to want to be out there,
Sure.
to be a good teammate. Those things are, you have those athletic abilities and stuff, but we look at that stuff as well. So, are you encouraging your teammates, or are you, discouraging your teammates? So it's all around.
And then those intangibles, a player that just doesn't like to lose and lays it all out there on the court.
Yes, absolutely. We want that. We want those young ladies who just have that competitive spirit inside of them.
5'11" jumper helps too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't coach that, right?
You can't coach height, and I know that's important with your blockers and things.
Yeah.
Coach Chad Gassman, when you're recruiting, a pitcher coming up, how much does the radar gun affect your recruiting?
Well, I would say earlier in my coaching career, I got caught up in that whole radar gun thing, but I tell you, I've coached at a couple different levels, and I tell you, the guys who can spot up all three pitches are pretty good, whether they're 80 to 84 or 87 to 91. Guys that can really change speeds and put the ball where they want, that's what we're looking for. And
Sure.
we feel like we got to, if you come out, you're not going to see any flamethrowers, but you're going to see a lot of guys that are 84 to 87 that can spin a breaking ball and throw a change up when they want to, and hopefully put it where they want to.
Right.
So
Control is a big part of the game, and that goes with baseball, but I've also learned it's very important in volleyball.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. The serve is so important with placement, and I'm learning about this game. I will catch up, maybe someday. I've learned to appreciate the sport, and it's one of our college sports at the University of Pikeville. Our guest today, Chad Gassman, head baseball coach at the University of Pikeville. His wife, head volleyball coach at the University of Pikeville, Shannon Gassman. And you've got a couple of home matches remaining.
We do, yes.
Let's
We
talk
have
about those.
two home matches remaining tomorrow night. So Tuesday at 7, we play Georgetown. And then we finish up Friday, St. Catherine's at 7.
All right.
So at home.
Both at the U-Pike gym on
Yes.
the lower campus.
Yes.
7 o'clock, we want you all there out supporting the U-Pike volleyball team as they wrap up the regular season for 2013. Chad Gassman, the Blood Series, best of 5 series, and starts today.
starts today, starts in about 40 minutes.
All right. And then, of course, once you wrap that up, I know some off-season work, guys will be in the weight room some
Yes.
as well.
We'll do a bunch of conditioning, going to Christmas break, and then
Yeah. In the spring, how quickly, when guys return to campus, how quickly till you guys get cranked up again?
right away. Actually, probably a few days before they get here, right before school starts. So, yeah, because our first game is first weekend of February.
Yeah, certainly is a year-round sport
Yes.
on the college level. Your ladies, do they get any time off?
Well, we'll start back up in first when we come back from semester.
Okay, so
So
they'll get a month or so
They'll
off.
they'll get some time off over Christmas break, and then once season ends, we'll probably have some open gyms for them to come in and
Right.
play around a little bit. But then we start with lifting and conditioning and our spring
right.
season.
One more time, let's get a shout out to the kids.
Yes, well, Taylor, Easton, Nate.
We love you.
There you go. Young couple, young kids, and I guarantee they're around the baseball field and volleyball court, and it's one of those things that they'll be on the field real soon too, and they'll have some built-in fans around the U-Pike community. Coaches, thanks for being our guest today on the Where the 99 Lead. Good luck with the Blood Series and in the spring season. And Coach Gassman, thanks for all you've done with the volleyball program. We've certainly seen the steps taken, and it's just a step away as well.
Thank you.
Our guest on Where the 99 Lead today, Chad Gassman, head baseball coach, and Shannon Gassman, head volleyball coach at the University of Pikeville. Where the 99 Lead, it leads student athletes to the University of Pikeville campus, and it takes those student athletes from campus back into the communities, changing our world. On behalf of the Gassmans, some of our favorite coaches at the University of Pikeville, I'm Andrew Joyce. Where the 99 Lead has been brought to you by the University of Pikeville, the leading university of Central Appalachia.